Welcome to the Commando Cast. I'm Mike.
And I'm Andrew, and today we are capping off Make Blue Hero Great Again week. Alright guys, welcome back to the Commando Cast. So this week, obviously on Dice Commando, we've been doing the Make Blue Hero Great Again week. We've been posting videos all week, and the reason we were able to do those videos is because this last week, both Mike and I took Blue Hero to at least one tournament. I took it to both. You took it to one. Right?
I took it to one. Yes,
Yeah.
I did Saturday. Yes, I did Saturday. That's right.
Yeah. So and then Mike actually ended up winning the Saturday tournament at Gungai with his Mono Blue Hero. So it ain't dead yet, folks.
Yeah. Turns out shields are real good.
Shields are pretty good in the current meta. Yes, they are. Especially when you have indirect flying around everywhere. So today we primarily want to talk about our Blue Hero decks and just kind of where it stands in the current meta. Just wanted to throw out a note though. So this weekend, Saturday actually, I was watching it live from bed on my phone. It was great. But Fantasy Flight did like this coordinated attack where they did their announcement in the morning, and then they had spoilers up like within 10 minutes of that announcement being done. So Mike and I are very aware that spoilers exist in the world for the set Spark of Hope, which looks super awesome. That is coming out probably in 3 months' time. Well, because it's coming out in 3 months' time, Mike and I are not in a hurry to discuss it because we have 3 months to do so. Yeah. Right? So, again, not in a hurry to have our first episode after spoilers be spoilers. We'll get you a spoiler episode, but we have other stuff to talk about in the meantime. So
yeah, well, especially considering we've just barely dipped. I feel like we just barely dipped our toes in conversions. I mean, so we will get to it. I promise. We're not done. We know they exist, but there's other people doing it, so we're gonna stay current.
Yeah, absolutely. So okay, so is Mono Blue Hero tier 1?
No.
Yeah, I agree.
no, it's not. It can be good. I feel that in its current spot right now, I think it requires a certain level of patience and a certain level of card knowledge and experience, I think, to do it well right now. And I think that ultimately, I don't think it can survive when the meta shakes itself out. But I think for right now, I think it's very playable, especially if you know what you're doing.
Yeah, sure. So let's start. So I start with what we took, right? So I took. So like I said, I played two decks. I took Mace Windu, the new Mace Windu, and Ayla, the first week, and one of my games is up. And then the second night at Monday Night Dice, I brought Mace and Yoda for something a little different. Just try a different angle in there. So I learned a lot from that. Both those decks generate just a bajillion shields, right? Fundamentally, the problem that I found was that, I don't think it's a huge statement. We've kind of seen this in the past with shield decks, is that you're using a lot of your value in shielding up and you're not really punching through, right? You're only punching through like 3-4 a turn. And against those decks, against the ping decks, right? Like the Afra, BT, it's great against ping decks. When I ran up against like an indirect deck like Tarkin Snoke, where they can ping like 4 or 5, your shields go down and you're like, haha, great, and then a Mega Blasters comes down, that's bad, right? So sitting up and tanking is great if their board state is going to continue to generate pings, but when you're sitting up and tanking and they're building their board state to eventually just wipe you out in one turn, you can only make so many shields, right? You can only hold 6 shields, right? So that was really what I found. What did you find with yours?
I found that I dirtled a lot. So I would let my opponent punch themselves out a lot, beginning of the round. I believe my game with Daniel was up today, and that was a perfect example of that, where his deck was action cheaty, so I was playing removal and taking shields at the beginning of the round, and then letting him kind of just be done.
Well, so to be clear, he was playing Iden, Versio, and Beckett on Military Camp with a whole bunch of action cheats. So you didn't really have a choice. Right. He was going to blow his wad, and you were going to do. Like he was going to play, then you were going to.
I found that though against other decks, it was.
So the final game that you had. So this will go up after the final.
Oh, okay.
So let's talk about the final game.
So the final game was against Alex, and I believe he was running. It was a a good. I mean, I felt I was in trouble. Like looking at the deck, I thought I was going to be in trouble, but it was after a Grievous Messenger.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So
with Elite Grievous.
Yeah, with Elite Grievous. So this is one of those decks where it's basically trying to get to a one spot where it just rolls out 10 dice and there's nothing you can do about it. Yeah. Right, kind of thing.
And pinging you along the way.
Yeah, right, but I was able to neutralize his ping completely, mainly because the I always say it wrong. I say Aqua Breather.
Say the Aquata Breather.
Aquata Breather, correct, yeah. So those by far are the MVP against, I think they're really strong against droid decks right now, and there's so many droid decks around. Almost every deck I'd say a majority of the dice right now that are red and yellow have indirect sides on them of some sort. I mean, it's pretty common. Right. So I think they have a ton of value. For my deck, because I'm running Hone Skills, and then one of my 2 face down cards under Lightsaber Mastery was Fatal Blow. So one of my games I won because I didn't have enough damage on the board, and my opponent was basically done, and they couldn't. Everyone was watching, couldn't figure out why I was playing.
Well, and this game had gone to time, right? So they were going for tiebreaker.
Right. So I was playing Aquata Breathers to get to my 5th, I believe 4th and 5th upgrade, so that I could Fatal Blow for an extra 5. So it was one of those.
Yeah, I remember sitting there watching you play the game, and I was like, "Why is Mike playing Aquata Breather?"
Yeah, at that point
he was playing against the Blue Sticks deck.
Yeah, yeah. So it was good. I really like. I think it feels good. It feels like Destiny.
I was gonna say the same thing. I like playing Blue Hero right now feels like old Destiny. So yeah, I mean, we'll go into the cards in a bit, right? But so for general strategy, right, where did you feel that you got in trouble versus the Alex deck? Was it just once he got 10 dice on the table? I mean, was that the point?
Yeah, because of the lack of mass dice removal, that's where I was really in trouble. I was packing a single copy of No Questions Asked. Oh, that was my sole, and really in my deck, that's at best worth 2 dice. Right, I mean maybe 3.
Yeah, I mean Blue Hero has a hard time with money. So actually, that'll lead me into my comment. I found that I went 2-2 in both tournaments, and the games I won very well, and the games I lost, with the exception of the one that I lost. So I lost in round 3 to Alex, and it just ended up being like I was going to finish him off, but he was able to get 10 dice on the pool, and I couldn't make it. Right, and the thing I noticed was it was really very binary. If you got binds down first turn, you won the game. If you didn't, you didn't win. And I noticed your games, or at least the ones I saw on video, it looked very similar to me. It's like if you got an early binds, it was just like all of a sudden you had $3 by round 3, and then you could no questions asked, right? But,
yeah, and I will say that the binds, when someone vandalizes my binds, that is the worst. Like to me, that's the worst thing you can do to my deck. There was someone who made a comment on the video today that they did not like playing 2 binds. They didn't want 2 binds on the table. But having 2 binds in a stick deck where...
that's what he meant by that?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he was just hating on, like, binds was broken.
No. Because I asked him to explain himself, and he said that he did not like... he feels that the value of playing a second binds is not good. And my retort to that was, if I can return the value immediately... Right. Then it's null. I mean, I lost a card that could be used for a reroll, but I don't need to reroll that much anyway because I will take what I get most of the time.
Sure.
But the freedom to be able to play a blue weapon down and then still have $2 for removal, that's a huge bonus.
Yeah, I mean I guess I'm a little confused on that complaint because binds is a 1 value drop, right? It costs you a card from your hand, assuming of course that you're playing an upgrade that turn, right? So and then it gets you 1 for the. I mean, it's the same argument as Tech Team, right? I mean, I don't think that needs a whole ton of explaining, but the card. I mean, not like round. It's not like a round 3-4 card. Like obviously you need it like round 1-2 to get the value out of it. But I mean, dropping a 2. I mean, even at the very least, dropping a 2-drop round 2 and still having $1 left is pretty huge. Right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and to go along with Tech Team, one of the reasons why I think Tech Team is it could be better than it binds all things is you could Tech Team into a Tech Team, which in itself, when you maybe don't have any money right, to play the binds because you waited to the end of the round. Tech Team never suffers that problem if you haven't used it.
Right. Yeah, well, a lot of the Afro decks right now are playing Tech Team, which it's surprising, but not, right? It's just, I guess it kind of surprised me to see it, but it makes sense.
Well, you said yourself the worst side you want to see on that Afro is the 2-for-1, because she has paid side.
It's not just Afro. Like, that Afro deck suffers, like, 000 has a pay side, BT has a pay side.
Stacked Droid has one.
Stacked Droid has a pay side. Yeah. Like,
so I can see why having Tech Teams is a good investment.
Droid Tank has a pay side, right?
Yeah. So yeah, I definitely could see the value in it. Just that deck has got so many options because it's rainbow. It's really hard to find a spot
for Tech Team.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So fair enough. So I wanted to talk about Mace for a bit.
Okay.
So Mace, obviously, when we first started talking about him, kind of the main thing we looked at was like, wow, we don't have to run very many upgrades in our deck because he can let you pull for upgrades, which is true. But what I ended up finding was even if I had drawn an upgrade in my hand, I was still using his power action and preferentially using it because it gives you the shield, right? So I think I have to actually backtrack on what I was thinking during the spoiler thing after playing him now. I think you still want to play like 10 upgrades. And then I think if you're playing Mace, Hone Skills is like a no-brainer include, right? So I didn't include Hone Skills on my first time with the Mace Ayla deck. And I did add it on the Mace Yoda deck because I was like, oh, well, I'm going to end up getting 4 upgrades on Yoda. I'll need it for the special.
And money, you'll have a lot more money.
Right. Exactly. No, that was exactly the theory. But I found many times, especially because I was running the Aquata Breather, which you end up not overriding because it's great, it sucks up the damage, but it doesn't give you a die, right? So I think between the Aquata Breathers and the fact that you can pull that with Mace and still get a shield on the Aquata Breather, which is huge, right? I think Hone Skills is like almost as important as Binds.
Are you running back to therapy in that deck?
I'm not. But I saw that you were once I saw the video and I was like, oh, actually that's a good idea.
And unfortunately, I never got it to go off.
2 cost is a lot.
Yeah, but I mean, people do play mid 2 for 3. Right, I mean that's the kind of the same value.
Yeah, but in a certain deck, right?
I was expecting to get more upgrades on characters in order to get the 2 for 4, 2 for 5.
Mm-hmm.
I actually had it one time and 5 upgrades on my game, but I had no damage on my character. So I mean, I guess that's a good problem to have. I mean, I couldn't use it because I couldn't heal, but that's interesting because when you're playing with Mace and you play, even though you're not playing an indirect deck, you play the Aquata Breather. You get the shield, right? And then if you have Hone Skills out, you're still getting to that 5 mark, and then all of a sudden that back to therapy, gets real strong.
Yeah, I think we can move into the card discussion. That's fine. The Aquata Breather, I think, it's not just a meta call. It's a meta call because we expect to see droid decks everywhere, and we're seeing droid decks everywhere, right? But like the card's just fundamentally good too. Maybe I could see the argument for with a non-Jedi like a Ahsoka or something, right? Run into Knighthood. Actually, no, because the Knighthood actually doesn't give him Ahsoka shield. So.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Okay.
So I take that back, but yeah, I don't know. I think that one's pretty valuable to run. But yeah, anyway, so I skewed back to a few more upgrades than I originally thought I'd be running with Mace, just because a lot of the upgrades you're running in the Blue Hero deck aren't making damage. So the Aquata Breather is one of them. The next one is like. The MVP all weekend is the Republic Jedi.
Yeah,
This card is hashtag Amazeballs.
Yeah.
But it doesn't do any damage. Right. So.
But it keeps you alive until you can do damage.
Oh,
and then can be overridden.
That card. Oh, you're going to override it with the. I guess for a kill.
Oh, yeah,
I would. Absolutely. Your +1 health, right?
Right. Yeah, I know.
I did actually on Monday. I had a really weird situation where I had 1 health left on my character, and I knew he was going to lose him. So I actually overwrote the armor with an Ezra's lightsaber just so I could get to redeploy, and I killed my own guy and then had to redeploy to Yoda. It was a very one-off situation, but it worked, right? I just didn't want to lose the value.
Yeah, no, that seems
so.
Especially if you were done with the character at that point.
Like, he had rolled in and Yoda had not, so I was just like, all right, see a Mace, right? And then it moved over to Yoda, and then you can special chain into it, right? But I don't know. So what cards did you run that you thought?
Well, actually, I want to talk about a few upgrades in your deck because
sure.
I thought they were kind of bonkers. I didn't give Mace's lightsaber a lot of credit until I saw the math problem it created for your opponents.
Right.
Mace's lightsaber works like the old Mace, where it does the 2 unblockable, and if they have 1 life left, it kills them.
Yes. So it's deal 2 unblockable damage to a character, and unblockable is like a real thing. So it's deal 2 unblockable damage to a character, and then if that character has 1 health remaining, defeat it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That's stupid good. And does that have to be on Mace for that to work?
No.
Jeez.
It's how it interacts with Mace is the power action that you can power action it to move it to Mace. Right. So you obviously you drop it on your other character, then you can move it to Mace and then get an extra activation out of it.
Yeah. I thought
one time.
I thought that card was really good. You were getting an extra rollout with it, I noticed, and then that special was impactful. I saw your opponents trying to figure out how to keep themselves away from that, and that anytime you can give your opponent something else to think about, that's a super strong card. So yeah. I really liked that card.
They were making suboptimal, like, dangerous maneuver plays and stuff like that to get around being at 3 health.
Yeah.
Right.
And then ended up being at 3 health like the next action anyway. Right. Which was great.
Yeah. So I mean, Mace's is okay. It really, I mean, it doesn't have redeploy, which really hurts it because then you have to combo it. Like, say you drop it on your other character, move it to Mace. They're obviously going after Mace because I think that's who you should go after, and then you have to find a redeploy.
Is it 2 cost though?
It's 3 cost.
Oh, it's a 3 cost.
Right. I think it's definitely a one of.
Yeah.
It's I mean it was good it was much better in the Yoda deck than it was in the Ayla deck for obvious reasons. Except that when you put it on Yoda, then you don't want to read it like so.
Right. Yeah, no, I can see that being. I thought that card was just in the videos that I saw. I was like, man, that's a very impactful card.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it causes problems, but the nice thing about it is when you look at it, for some reason, to me, it looks like, just when you look at the die sides, it looks like a Vader lightsaber, but it's not, because it has a 1 base, 2 base, and then a +3, right? I think that's why it looks like the Vader lightsaber. So you're thinking, oh man, I have all these modifieds, but that 2 base is like a real die side, right? So that's pretty good.
And Mace himself has 3 black.
He's got 1 stick, 2 sticks, 2 sticks, right?
Yeah. So he loves that.
That 2 focus.
Yeah. He's a very. Is he 16 points?
He's a great character.
Yeah. No. Very, very, very impactful. So. Yeah. No. I thought that was really good. Did you have any like spicy tech that you added that you thought was gonna take?
No, not really. The card I added the Mace Windu Beguile. I forget what it's called, but I'll put it up. It's the one where you spot a Jedi to reroll a die, spot a leader, turn a die to any side.
Oh, yeah.
It's the Beguile if you have Mace. So I ran one of those and never played it all. I never played it.
I was the same way with Repulse. I was running 1 copy of Repulse. I think I only got it off once.
Yeah, I saw you play it once.
Right. I mean, it was good. It worked, but it was like, I'm going to save this card so I can play
I think it'll get better late meta, right? Because we're not seeing... and we were kind of talking about this around the table at Monday Night Dice, right? It's like, Eric was like, man, I'm really surprised we haven't seen all these, scoundrel decks. And it's because the draft kit's not out yet. Like, as soon as Hired Gun comes out, it's going to be Rainbow 3-wide
Hired Muscles
Bonanza, right?
Yeah. So I ran Rayla. It's basically Ray and Ayla.
It's Ray 2, although it's the only Ray.
Ray 2 Ayla. Yeah. And I would like to say that this is one of the very. I usually come up with like 1 deck per meta that I'm particularly proud of.
This is it.
This is the one so far. That I've been actually. I have another one this week too that I'm going to break out. But
you heard it here first, folks.
Yeah, Ray Ayla is going to be good. Yeah, I'm done. No, I like some of the cards. First off, Conflicted is really good. Circle of Defect. Wait, what is it called?
Circle of Shelter.
Circle of Shelter.
Yeah.
Very good.
And you were playing that underneath. Were you playing it in your deck as well?
No. I had 1 copy. It was underneath my Lightsaber
So to
Mastery.
be clear, he was playing Lightsaber Mastery as well.
Yeah. Most of my opponents smartly decided to keep the shields off Ray. Right? I mean, that's what you should be doing. So it really allowed me to keep... So I would roll out Ayla, and when I got the 2 indirect side, I would almost always play it. If Ray was out of shields, I would play the 2 indirect as 2 shields and give them to Ray. It just was worth more than her 2 indirect side, which, I mean, is good late game, not very good at the early part of the game. So I was using that to get the 2 shields. So that card was really good. Conflicted was really good. Fatal Blow, I did win me a game. I mean, it's kind of a wombo
It's funny though that it won you a game even though you didn't kill a character.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah, it just got. I solved the math problem,
Right.
which is had more damage dealt. So, the deck it made a lot of shields. I had good removal options. It does have good removal. I had a Beguile. I had a Repulse. I think I was running one electromagnetic pulse in the deck. Like there was
that card is highly recommended.
Yeah,
every deck runs to a price.
Yeah, and yeah, you're gonna run into sometimes when you don't have it, but I can almost guarantee you that you're gonna have some sort of droid action.
So it's droid or vehicle die.
Yeah.
There's
between
a lot
the two,
a lot of time to
and it's a free, and there's no limit to it.
And it's a neutral card. Like just put it in your deck.
It's pretty good. So yeah, no, I had a lot of good removal options and a lot of good Lothwolf Bond.
Yeah, I mean, I think Lothwolf you would only play if you're playing Ray, right? I don't think. I'm pretty positive that you'd only play that if you're playing Ray. Conflicted, I thought, was an interesting choice for you, but you don't mind missing on Ray because then you get your shield. Right. The problem is her dice already pool at that point, right? So.
Yeah, but I need those shields at the end of the round. Like, remember, a lot of times my opponent, because they're so much faster than me, they're punching out, they're hitting me, right? They're taking my shields off, right? Or I have one shield I roll and ping, they hit me to take them off before the next round, and then I conflicted to get the two back.
Right. And you can conflicted Ayla to put the shield on Ray, right? So.
Yeah, because it's give
a character shield.
Yeah, which is really good. And again, it doesn't remove the die from the pool, so it's like super valuable.
Mm-hmm. No, I mean we've talked in multiple episodes how we.
That was that a last? That was Across the Galaxies card, right?
Yeah, I think it was a set 6 card. Yeah.
Yeah, very good. I was extremely pleased with the deck, and when I played against Alex, I was able to control his dice enough, and then kill Grievous, kill Messenger, kill Ayla, and I think Grievous is a really good character, and it's that stupid 2-focus side that is so valuable.
It's actually his power action.
Yeah, I mean, but that is good, especially in his deck.
Yeah, but he because with his 2 dice and with the rerolls that you're going to do, he either ends up on the 2 focus or he ends up on the 2 interacting. Either way, it's pretty good, right? So
yeah, I think that's a very good deck. That deck that Dr. Aphra Grievous Messenger deck, that might be one of the ones we see towards the end of the meta, I think, as a player.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, the Grievous is... Yeah, we'll see. I've got another deck I haven't brought out yet, but that I think is pretty viable in the 3-wide, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to go through... I actually have my deck here.
Whoa, real cards?
Yeah, like real cards.
Okay.
And guess what? Not everybody's on TTS these days. Right? So, I do a card eval. So Upper Hand... This is a card from the starter.
Okay.
So it is play only if you have 1 or more dice showing a value of 2 or more. Remove a die showing a value of 0. Came in handy a couple times, but it wasn't super amazingly useful. I think you'd have to be playing... I mean, Mace has 3 2s.
Right.
Ayla has 2 2s.
And you have to have 1 2-side or greater.
You have to have just a 2-side or greater.
Okay.
But, so this is... I guess the hero equivalent in this set to Forsaken, and it feels like a really bad trade.
And it's only of value 0.
Yeah, so, specials and blanks, right?
But Forsaken gets a 2 or less, the value of 2 or less. Right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And a die has to be in the pool, right?
Forsaken is better,
right.
But somewhat conditional. I think after playing the last couple weeks, I thought Forsaken was like the card, right? And it's still really good. Like I'm in no way, I want to be very clear. I'm in no way saying Forsaken's not good, but it's not that amazing. I've seen a lot of people discard it at times, right, for rerolls.
True. Okay.
So anyway, Upper Hand was okay. I think I still play it because hero just needs the 2 cost or the 0 cost removal.
Yeah.
Pacify, no brainer.
Yeah, that was good.
Electromagnetic Pulse, we already talked about. All right, so I was playing Overqualified.
Oh,
so good. Overqualified is choose 1 of your dice, then remove a die showing a value less than the chosen die.
Yeah, you don't have any 3s.
Worthless.
Right, yeah.
Right. And I was like, the problem was I was like, all right, I finally rolled my 2. Oh, I can only remove a 1.
Do you know who likes that card? Darth Vader.
Is it neutral? Oh, it is
Count
neutral.
Dooku loves that die because he turns to a 3, right?
It is neutral, right? But so that's actually, and that actually works well in the Talisman deck too, right? Because it's odd. I think instead you have to play Unbreakable, just after seeing how many shields.
Oh, why didn't I? Yeah. I didn't even think
So
about Unbreakable.
I didn't run Unbreakable, and I was kicking myself all day on Monday, or all Monday night. I was kicking myself like, why didn't I run Unbreakable, right? Hone skills.
Arturo Strike might have been actually useful in my deck with as many, because there was one of the games I had 3 shields on both.
I thought about that. I just didn't feel like I wanted to be trapped. Plus, like, I feel like you need the removal.
Yeah.
So Disciplined Mind is like a no-brainer, right? That's the Spotted Jedi to remove non-Jedi die.
Oh,
it's basically a Way of the Light, which is pretty much in every hero deck right now, right?
Is it one cost or one cost?
It's one cost.
So okay, so it's like the droid. What's that one? Automated defense. Same thing. Spotted droid, Spotted Jedi. Cost 1, removing die.
Although droid can remove even another droid.
That's true. That one's of course it's hero, so it has to be worse than the villain version.
Right. Of course. Right. So yeah, and I after this last weekend, I do not understand what is going on with the hero versus villain divide. Right. Like, villain has so many more utility cards than hero does, and that's just it. Well, basically they're like, hey, if you want to play hero, you need to play some really janky control deck, and that's where you go. And if you want to play real Destiny, go play Destiny.
Are you talking about no answer? Are we gonna get to like?
Yeah, we can. That's fine.
So no answer. Now,
so this is not a blue card.
Yeah, no answer feels like it should be a hero card. I don't probably because it
has Leia on it.
Right on it. They made it neutral.
Yep. Yes, they did.
And wow, like
yes, they did. So it compared with Deja Vu, which we totally needed that to work.
Yeah. So I feel like that card should have had a then statement on it. I'm not crying nerf or foul because
if it had a then statement, it might have to be a 0 cost card though. Just because right now it's a 1 cost. So one plus card from your hand to discard 1 card from their hand, then 3 off the top is still great value. But if you got to the point where they didn't have a card in their hand, because they have to only have 1 card in their hand.
Yeah, it's very conditional.
Right. So I think if they were to write it, it's like discard a card from your opponent's hand, then mill 3 from the top. It might have I don't know that it's playable at 1.
How about discard a card from your opponent's hand, discard 3 cards off the top of your deck, then remove this card from the game.
So as written, but then remove this card from the game.
Yeah, so just so you know,
because then you couldn't resistance ring it, and it's very clearly meant to be.
Yeah. So the interaction we ran into, which was super slick and hot and spicy and just devastating. Like I was so winning this game, but I'm winning. I'm playing against Mill. I hate Mill. Some things may happen. It doesn't matter. I hate Mill. My brain wasn't in the right spot to begin with. And so I'm actually winning this. I had the perfect draw, perfect setup. I was killing it. And then my opponent plays Deja Vu for 2, which is play a card that you just played out of your discard, paying its cost, basically duplicating it, right?
Right.
So he plays it, hits me for my last card, +3/+3 off my. So he basically did 7 damage in mill damage to me, and it flopped the game right on its head. Like all of a sudden, I went from winning to losing.
7 cards.
For 2 costs.
7 cards is a lot in one shot.
Yeah, so that's like spending 2 resources to do, 8 damage if we were talking, like, if you have 24 health on your character, and he basically milled me almost a third of my deck. Like,
yeah.
I mean, it was pretty rough. So I have a feeling you're going to see a lot more.
There's certainly no card because the fact that it still works even if there's no card. Like, I think you're right. Like, being able to discard or mill off the top of the deck, being able to take 3 off the top of the deck regardless of the first condition, is pretty rough. Like,
there is
one value, or it's 2 values, 1 resource and 1 from hand to mill 3 from deck. I mean, a card from deck is not the same as a card from hand, so I'll give you that, but the idea is that you're already out of cards in your hands. Like, I think the value of that card is way above curve, right? Which I think you're in agreement with. Like,
it was very devastating. Like, that was, and granted, my opponent played an excellent game, played an excellent mill game. Like, He was behind a lot, and then as soon as he got that deja vu down, though, it was on. Like, and I knew I was in trouble. Like when the deja vu hit the table. What I didn't realize, I thought he was just going to be removing all my dice. Mm-hmm. I didn't realize he was going to be murdering my deck from his hand. Which,
right. Well, you're not used to getting milled on because he was playing villain.
Yeah.
You're not used to villain milling.
Right.
You're used to hand being gone, and then at least being able to hopefully get lucky on the rollout and get a focus or something, right? So, yeah.
So that sucked.
Of course, have all your dice controlled too, but that's right. Yeah, I don't know. So, yeah, that card. But okay,
I just think the problem with the card for me is because it's a neutral. We're going to see a lot of mill decks
yeah, I think Mill's really. So it was interesting. Somebody either on Saturday or I think it was Saturday. Actually, I think it was Alex. Right? Alex was saying how he doesn't think Mill is in a good position, and which is coming from Alex. Right?
And he's a Mill. He's played Mill before.
He likes to play Mill, right? And he doesn't feel that Mill is in a good spot, which I understand why. It's because of all the indirects, right? Like Tarkin Snoke just destroys Mill. Phasma Troopers just destroys Mill. I don't know or not if Padme. I mean, I would assume Padme would do okay. But she's still, I would assume Padme does okay.
Well, you're running AR, right? So that's like a big...
Oh, you're talking Padme Yoda?
Yeah, like that deck's running AR, so you don't care, right? So your main engine is get that vehicle out. I think the Padme Yoda would do really well against Mill.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Anyway, so I think that's where his logic is coming from, right? But if you just look at like that Leia Lando deck is crazy. The deck that I hadn't considered that we saw on Monday Night Dice is crazy. And No Answer itself, like you could, I mean, I think, well, I lost to Sarah's Jin Cassian deck hard.
Right. Was it running No Answer as well? Was it? No, it wasn't. What, just Resistance Ring, or what was it?
Yeah. And bringing back field medics and stuff like that, right? So, I mean, if that can bring back No Answer, and I mean, again, you have to get your opponent in the right position to be able to fully capitalize on.
So Sarah finally converted her mill kill to just straight.
No, that's so well. She picked me twice, right? So I lost 8 value there, and then she actually killed Mace. Which,
oh no!
Yeah.
Oh God.
So I mean, it's a straight like Jin Cassian. She did, but I mean, to be clear, Sarah's been playing this deck forever, and she's very very good at Jin Cassian. That's like her jam. It's beyond her jam. It's her bread and butter. Right?
Transcended decks.
She's gotten very good at that, and she got the win, and took me down. But yeah, so anyway, my point is like in Jin, like No Answer seems pretty good.
Yeah. Mill is going to be a problem.
I believe so.
Although, I've said that before, in this game, the way it's designed has a tendency to, because the way the meta works and the card pool works, if Mill comes up, something will come and prey upon it, and then something will come prey upon the prey, and then the Mill will come back to prey upon the prey of the prey.
I think it's pretty easy to see how that triangle's formed already, right? I mean, you have, let's say at the top, you have, I don't know why it's at the top. Put it to the side because I don't want to start conversation. Sure. Right. So at the side is Phasma Troopers, right? Which we are in pretty much agreement is just going to roll Mill.
Sure.
Right. But Phasma Troopers has way too little health, so it's going to get rolled by the indirect decks. Mm-hmm. Right. The indirect decks, I guess, can kind of attack Mill. It depends on how it is, right? And then the aggro decks, I think, can blow down like the Tarkin Snokes if it's like a straight aggro deck, right? But then those guys are just going to get ripped apart because the straight aggro, what I'm talking about is the 3-wides, right? So like the Afra 3-wide ping.
Sure.
Actually, that's probably, I shouldn't say that's aggro. It's back up. That's not aggro, right? It's like a weird hybridy aggro, right? Those things are just going to rip apart Tarkin Snoke because they can throw it around and they don't really need their characters. And so we already have like a 4-way like weird thing going on.
I've always considered those decks to be more like board state decks.
Yeah.
Like they're trying to set something up.
Yeah.
An aggro deck.
What you call it, a ramp deck? Or
like a straight.
It's not a control deck.
A straight aggro deck sometimes can pick apart pieces of its. Early on, can pick off a character or two, but the board is still being there, and then eventually the board overwhelms the aggro player. But Mill tears it up.
In a true sense of the word, Phasma Troopers is an aggro deck, right? And Padme Saw is an aggro deck.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. In the true sense of it. So. I don't know that I would put Tarkin Snoke though in an aggro deck because man, that thing can ramp like Mega Blasters, Fists.
Yeah, the new version. That's what I on Monday. I ran Tarkin and Phasma 2.
Mm-hmm.
So I was running
because she's a leader trooper now.
Right, leader trooper, and man, was that fantastic! Like I dominated all my games all night until I got to Mill, and then the Derek's Mill deck just took me apart at the seat. It was ugly.
Let me ask you this: would you see any reason to run No Answer in that deck?
Oh,
because Tarkin's 2 discard side is like a real thing.
Yeah, I can't. I don't know. I can't see that. I mean, that just is really hard, like to justify a spot. You know, for the 3 mil off the top is fun, but I don't think it necessarily furthers your win condition.
Well, it just puts pressure on, right? Like all of a sudden they get to their last hand, and because I mean I know when I play Tarkin Snoke, like if you hit the 4 discard, like you Snoke.
Oh yeah. Oh
right.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no like that's not a debate.
And I even without the Snoke, I hit the 2 discard almost every time I roll it on target. It is bad. In fact, when I was playing against Derek in the Mill, I rolled out and hit the 2 discard, and he used his removal to take off my 2 discard.
Sure.
I mean, it's
yeah, absolutely.
You know.
Well, it's what I mean. It's when you're. I mean, I know you're not playing Tarkin Snoke, but like when you're playing Tarkin Snoke, if he rolls out the 2 discard, like you remove it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You don't want
like,
that.
There's no.
You might as well spend the card now instead of 4 cards in a second.
Yeah, but it does hurt your ramp, but then you're not ramping anyway. So
yeah, ramp this. You have no cards.
I mean,
right.
So.
Yeah, that's it.
I thought that was an interesting deck, and you did quite well with it. You actually had a good week in Destiny.
You know, I did.
2 tournaments, 2 championships.
I'm just really strong at the beginning of the meta because I'm such a good deck builder. That I just in my natural state, which is, being creative.
Fair enough.
Yeah, there you go.
All right.
So, I actually want to talk to you about because I'm really in a brewy mood right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm all about brewing new decks. Like, I don't know why I've caught this bug.
I think there is a ton of stuff out there to be made. I do have to give the designers credit on this one. Like, I think to be fair, I think there's a couple broken things out there right now.
Sure.
But there's a lot of options.
You need to get your head back. God, you got a small head. Yeah. Good Lord.
So what are you brewing?
So I am brewing currently. I have this thing is too. How do you have the smallest head I've ever seen?
Fine. I got tired of it.
So
joke's been made.
I have been working because I have kind of a man crush on Watto right now. And
you and 60% of the Destiny community.
Correct. So, like any good Destiny player, I want to find something that's broken and then try to find new pairings for it because he is the perfect cost at 12. He fits the silly stuff. So I put together a Kylo 2 Watto deck. Because as we know, Kylo's always suffered with money problems, right? So
21 health.
21 health. It's not bad. So the deck runs 2 Hired Muscle, 2 Entourage, and 2 Vader's Fists. Right, so it has a full support package, and then it runs. I believe it runs 8 upgrades. Swords.
I mean, his crossovers for sure. Right.
So and some redeploys, and so if they go after, so I'm making money. There's nothing you can do about it. Right.
So you're playing heirlooms, dagger.
Correct. Two cross guards, and then what else did I think I did 2 treasure just because I think it's
treasure
so good, right? And then I was running a bar. I think I was running 1 copy of Bartering. Bartering is just really good on a lot of.
I thought it was funny that at Monday Night Dice, Eric was like, "If anybody has Barterings, please give them to me,"
right.
Like, because of the whole like Palpatine Watto thing. Like bartering is like the new hot card that
we
nobody can find.
We have to do like a bartering drive or something. Like, we need to buy like 3 cases of.
I've got one for
Legacy
sale, $25.
Nice.
I'll sell you 2 for $25.
So the way the deck plays is you're basically using Watto, obviously, to build your board state, right? So I'm playing the lightsabers. So if
so you're doing the scoundrel package with Kylo.
Correct. Yeah. I'm doing the scoundrel package with Kylo. When I played a game with it on TTS, I know it's like the lowest form of Destiny, but
boo.
I finished the game with Entourage, Vader's Fist, Hired Muscle, and Watto had Dagger, Mortis, Heirloom, and Treasured Lights, because he'll hold a Treasured Lightsaber, so I would play it on him. And so I had a triple lightsaber wielding Watto at the end of the game with like a full support package, and it was busted. And you run all spot yellow removal. Like, so I'm running Entangles, right? I don't even care.
So when you run up on Mike on TTS, right? Go for Watto first.
Yeah, go for Watto first. So it was really good. And then I like it so much, I switched to Dooku.
See, now that I can see.
Yeah, he's just so like and you change then I ran Tale of Tragedy. Because for one cost, I can either fix Watto's dice to get money, or if you roll out your Vader, I can Tale of Tragedy and flip your dice to blanks. Yeah. It's so good.
Yeah. You seen a lot of Vader on TTS?
No, but we will. He's still good. People just want the new.
No, actually, I'm going to. So everybody knows I'm not a huge fan of Vader Greedo, right? But I'm actually going to bring a Vader droid deck, either this week or next, right? Because I want to prove that Vader's actually good again. So
you're sure. No one lets you.
We'll see.
So what are you brewing on right now?
I was actually playing with Jin Cassian today. Oh. I think Jin Cassian's pretty good with no answer, and I think so. Because I had several videos where I said I don't think Jin's good in Mill, and I don't think her ability is optimized when you play Mill. I think it's better with a damage version. Mm-hmm. But a card's a card, and I don't know. No answer is. I'm pretty sold on no answer being broken. So.
Yeah, and that character pairing can hit your hand really hard, like even without the
right. And the thing is, right, like what I've seen that deck actually succeed at doing is basically exactly what Sarah did to me. Was I would just stop playing cards because you're like, oh, I'm getting milled, and all of a sudden you lose character.
Right, and she kills you, and then you're like, oh,
that hurt.
Then it's really hard to beat a mill when you have one character.
Yeah, and then it's game over. Right. Like, it just is. Like the game's not even over yet, and you're like, all right, I still have 8 cards, but I can't mathematically win this game, right? So,
yeah, that's a pretty. I said I'm not looking forward to the deluge of mill decks like taking over, but the value of those Padme and Saw dice should probably go through the roof about that time.
Yeah, I don't know about Saw. I've been a little disappointed with the Padme Saw pairing. I thought it was going to be pretty strong. I came out kind of saying I thought Padme Saw was going to be better than Padme Yoda, and I'm kind of taking it back. I think Padme Yoda is probably the way to go, just because I think because of this last weekend playing Blue Hero and seeing the power of shields in this meta.
It's true. Padme Leia, I think, is her best pairing.
Oh, you think Padme Leia?
Yeah.
To be clear, that's Boosh.
Right? Yeah, Leia Boosh. Padme.
See, I don't know, because the reason that Leia has me concerned is so many of these 3-wide decks can make so much money. Like, that's kind of their point. So then they just pay you.
Okay.
And then what do you do with it?
You play upgrades and remove all their dice and basically torture them?
No, but they don't pay you turn 1. They pay you like turn 2.
Yeah, but if she's got double special and a Moxie, you can't pay $6, right? Like you're not going to come up with $6.
Yeah, but without Yoda, how are you flipping to that?
Because Padme has a bunch of.
But one of your characters is dead by turn 2, turn 3.
Except I've played against this deck.
No, I mean that's
and it
fair.
was devastating.
That's
like
fair.
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll throw it together, but maybe I'm not throwing it together the right way then. So maybe I'll have to get beat by it to understand how it works. So that's
just run. Oh gosh, what's the yellow villain card? 1 cost has two blue gun sides and 2 specials. Underhanded.
Oh, you mean that card that when I was on the Jedi Trials, everybody laughed at me because I said I thought it was good? That one? Yeah,
that's the one. It's a very good card.
That card is amazing.
Yes, that's amazing. Yeah, for special chaining.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
Cool.
So I'll lose to that, and then I'll eat my words.
Yeah.
All right.
I wish I had Padme's or Leia's.
My thing is my thing with that deck is it looks really good. It looks super good on paper. But when I start to think about like it actually going against the 3-wide, like I think the 3-wide pays you off, and I don't know that you're getting what you need out of it in a 2-wide. So I don't know, but I mean clearly.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to put it together.
We'll see.
So I want to just circle back, finish up with Blue Hero again.
Yeah.
You said Blue Hero is not tier 1. Do you see, now that you've kind of played a little bit, do you foresee a return to more stick decks now that, because we've kind of seen it is viable. Like, is it going to win worlds?
It's absolutely viable. I think that in the next set, if, and this is a huge if, right? If we get a 2-cost Saber that has some sort of interaction with Jedi or it doesn't even have to be Jedi, right? If it's a hero 2-cost saber, I think you can include to supplement treasured. I think that Mace suddenly becomes tier 1.
Okay.
Right, because think about it, right? If you could Mace, and I guess what I'm saying is like basically think of like a crossguard for the Jedi or something like that, right? If we get something like that, I think Jedi can potentially be tier 1. And I'm sure. I mean, I know that like when I'm saying crossguard, like I realize that it would have to be something like add shields because that's just the Jedi thing, right? But like basically what I'm asking for FFG, which I know is too late now because I probably have the printers.
Sure.
But like what I'm really asking for is like a cheaper, slightly less effective Obi-Wan's lightsaber. Like if you can get something like that, or if we can get repost back.
Yeah, I agree. I think that to really keep it even, you'd have to make it hero only because I think villain.
Yeah, no, and that's what I'm saying. So, the reason it needs to be 2 costs is so that Mace can drop a turn 1 or on a Mace power action, right? So, I think a 2-cost hero lightsaber that somehow interplays with shields, if that comes out, I think Jedi are tier 1 and actually very strongly tier 1.
Yeah, and I really feel that even though I don't think that the hero blue can be tier 1, I do believe the villain blue is going to be
with Dooku.
Yeah, with the new Dooku coming out.
I'm going to build the Kylo Dooku.
Yeah, he compares with Kylo perfectly. Yeah. I think Dooku has 3 damage sides. Does he have?
No, it's a 2 base. I'll put him up, but it's a 2 base something. And then he might have 2 discard. Oh, it's discard money.
Discard. Yeah, I can't.
Yes, it's discard money then. I knew he had something. I wasn't sure whether he had 2 discards or 1.
Yeah, and he gets a really cool lightsaber that is basically another crossguard. Like
his lightsaber is
for real.
Hashtag baseball. Like
yeah, so
if you think that's not being played in Vader Terror to Behold,
yeah,
you're crazy.
Oh yeah, no,
that card.
Yeah, because it does 1 damage, or if you play it on Dooku, you could make them discard a card.
Yeah, like, I'd rather just do a damage on Darth Vader.
Right, yeah.
I mean, they do have to have no shields in order to do the damage when you play it. I know. I'm just like, oh no.
Oh, right. Okay.
But
yeah, no, that get ready for the return of villain.
And then I mean, think about it right now, right? So just from the Dooku Kylo, like I know we're way over, but whatever. Keep talking.
Yeah.
So the Kylo Dooku deck, right? They have Treasured Lightsaber, they have Dooku's lightsaber, they have Crossguard lightsaber, and they have Palpatine's lightsaber. They have 8.
I keep forgetting you can play
pop.
Yeah, I keep forgetting you can play like a pop lightsaber now.
And like, granted, you don't get 2 of them, right? Mm-hmm. And so when I say 8, they have 4 sabers that you can have 2 copies of, right? But like, Crossguard you can run 2 of, Treasured you can run 2 of, you can run 1 and 1, and you just run 2 of all, so you can get 8 of them, so you can draw them. Like, how does Blue Hero? And I guess that's what I'm saying. Like, Blue Hero needs another 2-cost lightsaber. Like that, they need it. That's what I'm saying. Like,
of course, they did get Luke's. I mean, they got Luke's lightning rod, right? That was the
Luke's rod's very good.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not downplaying that. That's very good.
I would be curious to see the comparison between villain blue sticks and hero blue sticks, and a side-by-side comparison of the number of lightsabers 2-costs that they can employ. Like I don't know
the number of 2-costs.
Because I know the neutrals are shared, but like side by side, it would be cool if you could put up something to show that.
I can put that up. I'll put up a graphic. I'm pretty sure that villain has 2 more, just because of Dooku and Kylo's Crossguard, right? Because the Crossguard was offset by Rey's, which is a 3.
We're just doing. I want 2 copies.
No, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. I'm saying that's why I'm pretty sure villain has 2 more. But you're not counting. You would count Luke's as well, even though it's not a lightsaber.
Correct, because it's a weapon. Well, it's not even a weapon. It has.
So in that case, I think they're even because you have Ezra's and Luke's.
Prove it.
Yeah, I'll prove it.
Okay.
Right here. All right, fair enough. All right, so do you have anything to add? What are you looking at coming this week?
Just more. I can't do Destiny on Saturday, which disappoints me. It's the final volleyball trip of the year, right? But yeah, volleyball. Don't do this. That looks terrible.
Okay.
Final volleyball tournament, but we'll be ready to go on Monday. I'm excited about having a new member of our community. That's going to be super cool.
Oh yes, yes, that's the big announcement. Yeah. So. Symbio from T3 Gaming made his own announcement, so now we're safe to... We've known it's been happening for a while, but now we're safe to publicly say it. So Symbio from T3 Gaming moved into his house on a day earlier this week, and he's now going to be in the Portland community videotaping as well. So
yeah, we're going to be like this place.
Our plans are coming together.
I saw that.
Monk, we're coming for you next, buddy.
Everybody, pay way too much for a house and move to Portland. It's going to be great.
So I do have to say, there was someone from Corvallis who commented on Symbio's videos like, "Oh man, Oregon, we really need," or it was like, "Oregon really needs you, Symbio. Move up here." Hey man, we're only 2 hours away.
Yeah, come on up. We'd love to have you.
We had some people this last weekend. I want to give a shout out to again. They came down from Bellevue. They ended up rolling into the tournament like 12 minutes late because they got caught at the interstate bridge lift. So we worked them in right. But Hung, DeAndre, and Brett. Brett, we're not sure whether you're from Vancouver or Bellevue, but we know some part of that group is from Bellevue. So we want to give you guys a huge shout out. So if you're from Corvallis and complaining that there's not a community, we're right here, buddy. Yeah. I'd love to shake your hand next week.
Come get some.
Yep. Whatever. Let's have a beer. Roll some dice.
Absolutely. All right. Anything else?
No. Well, go Command.
Go Command.